everybody, welcome to my slightly disorganized room, my little makeshift studio, and I'm just going to show you guys basically the simplest version of my wash and go routine. So this is going to only use 2 products. I already used a shampoo, a conditioner, and a leave-in. All 3 of those are by Function of Beauty, which I'm going to link in the description. Please go check them out. Their customized hair care is no joke. It has seriously changed my hair, and I'm sure I will go into detail about that in another video. For today, though, we are going to be focusing on my new favorite brand, Cake Beauty. Not only do they smell great, but they feel great in your hair, and they'll make your results last. So I'm going to show you how I use the Curl Friend, their curl cream, and their mousse, the Curl Whip, in my hair, which is a 2C3A wave curl thing to get my favorite look. So we're going to start with the Curl Friend. I'm going to section this lower part of my hair. I always start from the bottom up. I'm going to section the lower part into about 2 halves. They don't need to be super even, but you do want to make sure you're putting about the same amount of product on each part. So we've got our lovely curl cream, and I'm going to use just about this much. Start there at least. Start with a small amount of product, and if you need more, you can always add more, but it's a little bit tougher to try and remove product. Now, as you can see, I'm raking this through at the moment, making sure it's nice and saturated, and I'm feeling, yeah, it's a little bit, let's see if I'm just gonna add about this much more and see if it makes enough of a difference. That's better. Now to really kind of gauge that and to gauge the amount of slip in this, and also just to make sure that I get it fully evenly distributed, I'm gonna take it into smaller subsections, and starting from the bottom, I'm just gonna brush the product all the way through to the root. Now that that's all brushed through, we're gonna go through on the other side. Oh, this product gives such good slip. Oh, and it smells like lemon cake. It's so good. All right, so now that I've gotten that product all the way through, for the bottom layers, I tend to pay a little bit less attention to the curl definition. They're not gonna show as much, but because I have some relatively kind of flat waves on the bottom, I'm gonna just rake and scrunch here at about a 90-degree angle away from the scalp to create as much volume as possible. And then I'm gonna scrunch. Pile at the bottom, squeeze. You hear that? You hear that? That's a good sound. It means we've got good saturation with the product. So as you can see, the curls are starting to form, but they're a little wonky. So on any of those pieces where I see things are kind of particularly special, I'm gonna finger coil a little bit just to kind of encourage them as I keep going in my hair journey to curl a little bit more consistently. So I got another piece back here that's kind of a relatively wonky wave, and that's probably as good as that's gonna get. Give that another quick little scrunch there, and I'll move on to the other side. Rake, squeeze, rake, squeeze. That's gonna encourage more clumping, which is super important for any of us wavies, because if you separate the curls too much, you're gonna get stringy curls. So that squeezing at the end helps to kind of help the hair regroup more into kind of its natural curl family, find its pals, and make sure everybody sticks together and has a good wash day. All right, now I'm gonna speed through a couple more layers here, essentially with the same application of the curl cream. Just sectioning. Applying the product, raking, and squeezing. All right, now we're getting into the money sections here. We are at the top. So, I like to section the top into two pieces. Crown and front. We're going to put the front away for a second after we get a nice good look at how attractive this is. Okay, so we're going to separate the front out and clip this away for now, partly to make sure that it stays as wet as possible, and also to make sure it stays the F out of my way. Now, I've got the back section here. I'm going to double check, make sure this is plenty wet, good enough, and now we add the cream. Now this is where I am more likely to use a bit more product. I really need the top, back, and front sections of my hair to have the most definition because they are the first things that people see. Okay, same application technique, making sure I have adequate slip from the product. I like to go 90 degrees away from the scalp. It gives me more volume. I have issues with and love here, which often means, let me split these in half a little bit. Yes, which often means that these are sections that I'm going to finger coil almost all of them. So I'm gonna go 90 degrees away from the scalp to encourage volume. I wrap my finger right at the root, it's got some extra product on it. I'm gonna wrap all the way up, pull it out, and let it settle. That already looks better. Let's try that again over here. Okay, make sure that you don't take too big of a section or it's gonna look all sausagey, or too small of a section, which is gonna turn out stringy. Rotate it up, pull, and let it fall. And it's looking more and more like a curl every time. One more time, pull it up. Well, they can't all be super duper winners, but we're gonna do the same thing with this section over here. Okay, raking and squeezing, raking and squeezing. Let's give this a quick little coil. Now the back is typically where a lot of us will struggle because, well, it's at the back of our head. So you have a couple of options here. You can turn yourself upside down, which I find somewhat disorienting, so I don't typically do. Or you can just make sure that you style overhead, which, if you haven't gotten your arm workout in yet today, is a great way to do that. Now, even after finger coiling, I will scrunch. It gives it just that little extra amount of bounce, but don't scrunch too much yet. You'll understand why. I'm gonna do the exact same thing with the front section, combing the product through and then finger coiling it all. Okay, so now I've got all of my curls nice and defined with the cream. They're super moisturized. I got a ton of slip in there. And now we are going for hold. At the moment, I'm really obsessed with this curl whip mousse. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna shake it up. Gonna distribute a decent amount of it into my palms. Let's see what happens here. I love watching it grow. Ready? So much mousse. Okay, so we're gonna rub this in the hands a little bit. As you rub it more, it's gonna turn more into an oil. And now we're gonna flip very gently. Try not to disturb these lovely curls. I'm gonna just kind of smooth some of this little bit of a praying hands technique here, nice and gentle, over the curls, and then from the bottom, give it a nice little scrunch. Let's flip it away. I'm telling you, this level of grace you only get from a professional dancer. Now, if it feels like you're gonna wind up needing more hold, if you're a person who really likes a ton of security in your curls, you can add a little bit more product, but you don't want it to feel dry or kind of pre-crunchy when it's wet. How it looks and feels when it's wet is how it's going to wind up looking and feeling when it's dry. So if you notice any frizzy pieces, I suggest now being the time that you go in, kind of give them an extra finger coil, just tame down any frizz or baby hairs you might have. All right, so here are our wet results. I'm seeing some nice little spirals, and I'm pretty pumped about this. So, I almost never air dry. Pretty much ever. Air drying takes too much time out of my life. I am a diffuser girl. This is my current diffuser situation. It likes to fall off, so I have to hold on to it with my fingers. But what I'm gonna do is I like to go high heat, high speed. I know. High heat, high speed? Who is this girl? Is a girl who wants her hair to be dry, for goodness sake. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna start by flipping upside down, and the whole time that I diffuse my hair, it's just going to be in a hovering motion, flipping my hair every so often to get all the different angles, get more volume into it, and I will be back when that's all dry. And we're back with the dry results. What do you guys think? I am so happy with all the definition, the lightness. My hair is touchably soft right now, but it's still so defined. I can tell it's really moisturized and that this has enough hold that it doesn't look crunchy, but it's gonna last me for days. I'm gonna be able to get 3 to 4 days out of this easy. Guys, I cannot speak highly enough about Cake Beauty. They're not paying me to say this. I just love their products so much. They smell like cake and they work. So check them out. You can find them at Walgreens or Duane Reade in the States. You can also buy them online at cakebeauty.com. I am super obsessed. I cannot say enough good things about them. So please try them for yourselves and let me know what you think. Comment down below anything else that you guys want to see from us, and you're going to see Sabrina's styling routine very soon. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.